What's up, guys? So I'm going to do a maintenance video on this. I pretty much learned how to do this from Sean from Less Lethal for Dummies. So if you've seen his video, mine will probably be pretty much very similar or almost the same. I've taken this apart one time, I think. So I bought this in February of 2024. Shot a crap ton of rounds through it. I think I got around 600, 700 shots. And I was like, okay, I should probably take this apart and maintenance it. And that was in, it was either July or August of 2024. So like in 6 months from me getting this, about 6 months later, because I've been filming videos and showing how it performs and stuff. Because other larger channels that have featured these, like yeah, they'll show you, how it works like one time, maybe two times, or maybe they'll compare it with other markers, but like nobody really does like continuous firing of these things just to see if they get weird fluctuations in power and stuff like that. So I'm not like insanely good at modding things or like knowing, what I can do to like increase power and stuff. I learn a lot from other YouTube videos, other channels and stuff. But what I like to do on my channel is keep firing these things over and over and over, different conditions, different gas types, different CO2s. I have the air tanks, I have my CO2 tanks, I have the airlines. So I just like to put these things through the ringer, see if there's like weak spots, see if mine acts weird or breaks or whatever. And I have a pretty decent knowledge of how to fix things, and I keep sort of like mental notes on how many shots I've put through certain launchers I have, especially like the ones the ones that I consider EDCing or keeping with me in my car or in a bag or something. I keep track of how many shots I shoot through it, and I don't want to like go excessively too long without maintaining stuff. So this is the S2. I took my little flashlight off. But yeah, on my channel, I like to just keep not necessarily doing the same thing over and over and over and over, but I like to use this gun or this launcher, use this a lot, and then see what type of differences I get in performance and stuff over time. See if when I maintenance it and shoot it, if it performs better or if like maybe something's weird or something. But yeah, I have the TR50, the HDP50, the HDB68, the Burna SD, but it's broken. My TCR, the Tip-X, or two Tip-X's, BB guns, BB rifles. Yeah, so I'm just it's just what I do, I guess. So yeah, like some people review things, some people will just kind of put out like one or two videos about a marker or launcher or something, but I like to use them excessively and give it a fair review. Over time you'll have more of an idea of what you can expect a launcher, like how it will perform, how reliable it is, and durability of parts, and stuff like that. Like I like to wear things out. I like to really like break them in. Like I feel like with this S2 that I have, I've probably put in 1,000, 1,200 shots through it probably. So when I take this apart, I'll see if any of the O-rings are busted or need to get replaced or fixed or whatever. And yeah, so this is a Phillips size 1 or PH1 screw. I believe there's 9 of these screws on here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So yeah, there's 9 Phillips screws on this guy. There's nothing in here. I already took the CO2 puncture cap off, or the pierce cap. All these screws are the same length, so you can just put them anywhere you want, willy-nilly. You will need a screwdriver set, obviously. I think this is the only size screwdriver you need, the Phillips one. You'll need a pick for some of the springs on the trigger. You'll need, I think the inside in here, I think it has Allen keys. So you'll need a set of Allen keys, and obviously you're going to need grease or some sort of, silicone grease, silicone oil to re-lubricate everything inside. So once you take all these screws off, you can proceed to undo the clamshell, so like pry it open. So what I usually do is you can just kind of get your finger right here and push up, and see how this goes. I have to make sure all these screws are loosened. So I think actually I need to flip this over. So I'll be right back. Oh no, we're good. So I just pulled this off with the O-ring on the safety was getting stuck, or like clinging onto the shell. So I'm going to put this over here. All these screws are the same length, but I'm just going to leave all the screws in the shell so I don't have to mess with those. They're just over there off on my table over there. This is the safety. The red ring goes on the bottom side if it's facing this way. So I'm just going to put that over there also. I put an O-ring on my barrel. This is just like a size 15 tank O-ring for like a CO2 tank or an HPA tank where the threads go. So I put that on there so it doesn't rattle. You don't need that on there, but it's just a thing I threw on there. So there's an O-ring right here. Pretty sure you guys can see this. So yeah, this is just an O-ring. You don't need that. It's just on there because that's how I did mine. So on this side, there's a latch. I probably should have flipped it over before I opened it, but here we are. This latch is it's for the mag release, I'm pretty sure. So I need to clean this out. A little bit of aluminum shavings in there, probably from the alien play balls. So there's nothing in this in the left side of the shell except for that latch. So this goes over here. There's a small spring right here. So you can just pull that out with your finger or with the fingernail or a pick or pliers or tweezers or whatever. And it's pretty small. So I'm just going to place that over there with the latch. I'll get a rag or something and clean this out. So we are now left with the guts of the S2. So I'm just flipping this back over. I'll probably just remove my magazine spring. So it's kind of like a pigtail on that little nub. So just very easily pull this off. Don't stretch it out or anything. Just kind of like maneuver it off. You could probably buy a new one somewhere, but I just don't want to mess this up or have to send it in. So here's that spring. Put it with my little parts over there. And that's it for now. So I'm going to get a Allen key, and there is 4 screws on this body. I think it's like a size 1.5 or size 1. I think it's 1.5. I'll try the 1.5 millimeters. So yeah, this is it's from Taiwan, manufactured in Taiwan, so everything's metric. The Titman stuff, most of it is standard size, like English size. So this is I believe it's size 1.5. I'm not sure. This set I have, it's kind of rubbed off. So 5.5, 5, 4, 3.5, 3, 2.5, 2, 1.5. I believe 1.5 millimeter Allen key. That should fit this. Maybe it is standard. Yeah, okay, so maybe it's standard. All right, so a 1/16 Allen key is working. So 1/16 standard size, English size, or standard size hex key should work. Yeah, because my metric ones weren't grabbing. So there's 4 of these screws. I'm just gonna take them out slowly. They're all the same length, so you can put them back in any order. And I'm just loosening them up over here, and just taking my time. So yeah, they're all the same length. You don't have to worry about those being different lengths or different diameters or whatever. Like, they're all the same. So it's one of the cool things about the S2, that most of the screws are same length, same size. You can put them all back in any order on this inside body and on the exterior plastic shell. So that's one cool thing, because the Umarex stuff, I don't know, there's like 18 screws on the outside. They're super small, kind of a pain to take off. They're different lengths, like 9 of them are one length, 5 or 6 of them are a different length, and then like 2 of them are super long, or like 1 of them super long or something like that. It's really weird. So so I have the bolts off. The detent I'm going to take off pretty soon. I have to take off this sear spring right here to take this apart more easily. So I'm going to remove the detent right here. You can pretty much just like get your finger in there and pull it out, or you can use a pick. I'll probably just use a pick, be a lot easier. So you just get a pick in there, poke it in there, kind of pull it off on one side, and then you just pull it over the edge. So I got the pick in there. You can see me just lifting it out. I lifted the detent out. And just be careful with this, because as far as I know, I mean, maybe I haven't, because I've never contacted Salt Supply to get one of these. Maybe they'll sell you the part. Maybe they'll just tell you, no, you have to send it in. I don't know how that works. I haven't crossed that bridge yet. So just be careful with that. Take it off. Don't bend it, or, rip it in half or something. This sear spring, I'm going to use a different pick because it's easier to get at with this like 90-degree pick. So you just get that. I'm pinching this body so it doesn't come apart. So just get that spring, pull it off of the pin, and just let it rest. So now that's loose, and you're just removing it from this pin. And the later on we're gonna get this spring and just put it back once we reconnect everything. So taking that off, put that down. Now I can open this. There is a bolt and a spring in here. I don't think it's under pressure. I mean, it is, but like it's not gonna like go and come flying out. So I'm just gonna slowly open this, and yeah, it popped off. So yeah, you can see this is pretty dirty. This is not clean. But like I said, I probably put like 600 rounds through it. I may get a new O-ring for this, because this looks kind of messed up a little bit. Some of the pins down here fell out, but it's fine. I have to reassemble and pull everything apart. So yeah, my washer is totally effed right here. This is the bumper, the bolt bumper. So mine has shot 1,200 rounds, 1,100, at least 1,000 rounds I've shot through this thing, and it's finally broken. So I will have to get a new O-ring or bumper for this. I'm just gonna use an O-ring from a Harbor Freight kit that I have. So you can see it's ripped right here where my thumb is. The little spacer, yeah, it's totally screwed. But that's fine. I have O-rings. That's why I do this. So I am going to lower this a little bit to make it a little bit more clear. On this half, you have well, this was all one piece. So let me just take that out, take this out. Definitely have to clean this. This is pretty gunky bolt. Let me get my trigger. So the trigger has a pin, and it goes in. Let me take my barrel out really quick. So the trigger, you know, it goes right here, and the pin goes through it, like right here. You have to mess with this little trigger spring, and it's really hard to get an angle of this trigger spring, but even like Sean was having a hard time getting a good angle, but I'll get to that eventually. But it goes in on this. You have to hook it on to there's a little this little nub. Sorry, the camera's all out of focus. This part you have to hook that spring on. I'll get to that eventually. But I'm just taking this all apart. I'm going to clean it all out. I'm getting all my pins. So there's 3 different pins. There's a thick pin for the trigger, a skinny pin, which was the one that that first spring that I loosened up. It goes right there. And then there's a, the middle pin, which is right here. So there's 3 pins. In order that they go in, it would be this order. So thick trigger pin. This one goes in the middle of the marker, and then this one goes toward the rear where the handle is. So right here for that one, right there for this middle one, the short one, and right there is the thick boy right there. So we'll put those back. This is now loose. This is the sear. This grabs the bolt to make the marker fire. So this, whenever you pull the trigger, it pulls this, like it does this action where it's pulling this, and then the bolt comes forward and releases all the air, because the firing pin is getting it's plugging this O-ring. So when you shoot, like when you pull the trigger, let me show you this. So there's that firing pin, that pin inside there. When you pull the trigger, it's pushing this forward like a little bit at a time, and then once it goes so far, the firing pin gets out of the way of the O-ring, and it releases the air. So that's when it's like releasing air, and then the spring right here pushes it back closed. So release air, shoots, goes back, and that happens like pretty much when you hear the launcher fire or shoot or expel a projectile. It's like a fraction of a second. So I'm gonna get in here. There's 2 O-rings. There's one O-ring right there, that black one that you can see, and then there's this one inside. So I'm going to I'll try to remove that. I don't think I need to, but I'll try. And then I just want to check this out. And there's nothing inside here. I forgot what size this is, but there's nothing in here. There's just an O-ring blocking this. I'm going to get a microfiber towel really quick and clean all this stuff off. All right, guys, I forgot that there's a 4th pin, and that 4th pin is here. And when I wiped off all the grease from this cavity, I remember that there was a pin and it was like sticking out. So there are 4 pins, and I'll show you where they go and stuff. But yeah, this is pretty much just like Sean's video, just another random maintenance video. Typically it doesn't take me that long to do this. I've only done it one other time, but since I'm walking it through and explaining what things do, this could be longer than I thought it would be, but it's fine. So I'm just inspecting my bolts. It looks like it's okay. There's no like crazy scratches or like gouges out of it or anything. Just it looks pretty normal. Yeah, no damage or anything. Probably going to clean this out as good as I can. You could also use like cotton swabs or something if you want. Just make sure you get most of the lint, whatever lint gets trapped in it, just get it out of there. So just taking all this stuff off, put that to the side for now. Now I have this other half that I'm cleaning out with the cloth because it's nasty with old grease and oil and stuff. But yeah, I'll probably try doing this to the S2 and I just fixed, or like not fixed, but I just maintenanced my TR50 and HTP50s and stuff. Like those are fine. But I haven't done this one since summertime, and it's January, almost the end of January now. So it's a good time to do this. Yeah, it's not damaged, it's just scuffed. So I may have to do this every 4 months. It just depends how much you shoot. If you shoot a lot, you have to do this more often. So this is like decently clean. It's not perfect, but it's okay right now. And yeah, you just want to make sure that you don't, like, if you have a cloth on the table, make sure you're not picking up parts and flinging them all around and losing them on the ground and stuff. So that's decently clean. I'm going to clean off the bolt guide, or this thingy. I think it's like a collar or something. And then yeah, I'm going to reapply grease and stuff to everything. Just inspecting this. It looks okay. There's like a little black smudge right there. I can't tell. I doubt it's doing anything performance-wise, but I do need to get that O-ring for the bumper. So I will go upstairs really quick and get my O-ring kit. So that's clean. This is clean. I'm going to clean this valve, like stem end piece off. And I'll be right back. All right, you guys. So I don't know if this is the one that Greg from East Coast Less Lethal put on, but I'm using this A113 9/16 by 3/4 by 3/32 O-ring. This is from the Harbor Freight O-ring kit, standard size ones. I didn't look at the metric ones, but it's just a bumper for a bolt, so it's not going to really matter, because it's just going to be striking the bolt's going to be striking this instead of striking the metal part, which you don't want to be hitting metal on metal. So yeah, it's just going to go on like there, like that. And I'll see if I get any performance issues or anything, but that's the one I'm using for right now, A113. So this other one fits too, but it's like a little bit small. This A112, it is at one size down. So I'll see how this one works. It seems like it'll be fine. And yeah, I'm going to pop this open and oil up this gasket back here. All right, guys, this is a 1/8 inch hex key. Seems to fit perfectly fine. It's not too small, it's not too big, it's not walking or moving around or anything. So that works fine. This is what's in here. So there's an O-ring right here. I'm going to re-grease and re-oil and clean off. And then inside there's absolutely nothing. So this whole air chamber is getting filled. And I'm pretty sure that's why this hits like 20 joules. Because it has a pretty decent sized air chamber. And the barrel is... I got a tape measure really quick. Barrel's kind of short. Thought it was longer. It's 3 3/4 inch, essentially. 3 3/4 inch long barrel. I know that Greg may start making S2 barrels and stuff, but right now he's having a lot of fun with the Pistol X68. So maybe in the future he'll make an S2 barrel, make it longer, possibly get more power out of it. But he's yeah, making a lot of stuff for the X68 currently. So I'm just cleaning off this bolt, like air chamber valve cap thing. So this is clean now. I'm gonna put oil. I have my Titman liquid fire. You can use pretty much anything you want as long as it's silicone based oil and not petroleum, not like car oil or something. Use silicone oil, silicone grease, because it's rubber O-rings or urethane O-rings. So I'm just putting grease and oil on this. You could just use one, but I put grease on everything. And then in here it looks fine. I mean, I could get my finger in there and just wipe off whatever's in there, but there's nothing in there. It's just a little bit of old grease still in there. And just tighten this up. Get my 1/8 Allen key. Tighten her down. It stopped right there. And I'm just pulling a little bit more, but not that much. So it's pretty much good. That part is anyways. I'm going to put a little grease and oil on this O-ring just for good measure. And this was the Harbor Freight O-ring, the A113 size from the standard size O-ring kit. And just putting all this stuff off to the side for a second. I'll get my actual valve O-ring. Put some oil on this. Put some oil on this. Just turn it around a couple times. I have kind of big fingers, so it's not gonna, I can't fit my finger in there. So I'll just, I put 2 drops. I kind of like moved it around, and the oils, you know, those 2 drops met each other, met up. I'm just gonna tighten this down. You don't have to tighten this down too hard. The first time you open it, it's kind of tight, so you might need some pliers and soft jaw pliers, like, so you don't mess this up, because this is brass. You don't want to crimp down and twist it and wreck the shit out of this thing, because you need it to be smooth to go through this. So I'm going to put some grease on this thing, and I'm just making sure it's tight enough. So I'm going to put grease on this, on the valve right here where the bolt is going to keep constantly hitting up against it. I'm probably going to put a little bit more this time, because yeah, I have some scuffing, not excessive, but I have some scuffing on here. Probably put a little bit right there. I learned my lesson with the HDPs not to put too much grease where the valve O-ring is, because then you'll have it start leaking. So I'm just working this in. I'm going to put a little bit of some oil right here, little line, put this back, twist it and work it in. So I'm just doing this just to get that stuff spread in there pretty good. I need to wipe off my bolt spring, because it's pretty dirty, and put all this stuff back. So I'm going to wipe this off really quick. I'll be right back. All right, this thing's clean now. You don't need to, but you can put grease on it just to keep it from rusting or scratching up other surfaces that this is making contact with. Just a little bit less than it would if it was completely dry and no grease on it at all. So just put a little bit more on it. Get my collar thing, put this, you know, clean it off a little bit, put a little bit of silicone oil on there, get that in there pretty good. I think I had to put the springs, the springs and stuff together first before I do this, or at least like get some of the pins in and stuff like that. So I'm gonna get the pins. I cleaned off the barrel. All you have to do is basically just wipe down this part, and it looks clean down there. There's no residue or anything. So if you have like a cotton swab or like a big like a barrel squeegee or something for a paintball marker, that would fit this perfectly fine because this is 68 caliber, just like a paintball marker. So for these springs, you have to get the big boy pin, the super thick one, the one that was in here. You put that in there. It's I think it's the same thickness as the trigger one, but it's possibly longer. Let's check. So this one is the trigger one, and this is the sear spring. So it's a little bit, it's shaped different and it's a little bit wider. So this is the one, the thickest spring, and yeah, the thickest spring that's slightly shorter goes right here, and that's for the sear to move around on. And yeah, I'm gonna put this over here, get the spring for the sear back in here. So there's a tiny little hole right there, and you need to put the one of these hooks on here. I think it's this way. Yeah. So the way this looks, the side that's like longer grabs this pin down here. So this like little short candy cane part, you put it on, put it through that hole right there, and then you should be good to go. Probably put it the other way actually. I don't think it matters, but I'll put it back this way, because then I pulled that spring off. The hooked part was like facing up into the marker, so yeah, this is the way you should put that spring back, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, so this is good. Put that on there right there, and then make sure it's not in the way of this for later when we reassemble. It has to not be in the way, because we're going to put a pin right there. And then my triggers pin is right here. I got the pin that goes right here, but we're going to actually put that on the other side. And that's right there. This is the skinniest, longest pin, goes right there. And it will fall through because there's nothing. Well, you do this last, but the pressure from this spring holds it, like it's pulling it up. So we'll do that last. And then this one goes right there. But we'll put that on the other side because it's too hard to you have to put this so that goes right there. And you have to line it up right here. And the easiest way to do it is to put some grease on this thing on the end and just kind of like put it together. I'll get to that point. But yeah, you need to put that pin there. I'll put grease on it in a second. So now I got my trigger and I got this spring. And the spring goes in, I believe, like this. And this little part that's just like flat, it has to catch on that. Sorry, my camera's out of focus. It has to catch right here. Like that. So I think the last time I did this, it's been a while since I watched their teardown video that Sean made, but I figured I've already done it once. It can't be that hard. You put this in here, and I think I got a splinter in my finger or something. I feel something. All right, so that little nub right here. I don't know why my camera's being all stupid. That little nub right here has to catch on that part of the trigger, so it'll be like this. And that's going to, this like flat-sided part, I got it wrong. This flat-sided part needs to go in right there like that. And then that little like foot or whatever, the little handle, it's gonna grab that part of the trigger, that flat nub that's sticking out. So you can put it on like that. You can't push it down though, because the housing of the S2 gets in the way. Like it's catching right there on that corner where my fingernail is. It's catching. So I think the last time I did this, I think I used like a pick or something, but it's hard to get an angle on that. So I can't remember what I did, but now my hands are all greasy, and this is going to be a little bit of a pain in the butt to put in here. But basically, I'm putting the spring in underneath the trigger. I have that little nub that's supposed to grab onto the trigger. I have it already there, so it looks like that. And then I'm kind of like pinching the pin, because this pin's going to move around. I'm kind of holding it with my fingers, and I'm going to put this flat side of the spring into this little channel, and it's going to rest up against it. So I'm going to try to do that without having the little thing fall off of the back side of the trigger right there. Sorry, my camera's all out of focus. So this is hard to get on camera, like a good angle. I would need to have like two different cameras, like one on the table looking up at me, and then one like this downward facing camera. So this part is probably like the hardest part of reassembling the S2, is getting that spring to fit on the trigger and pushing it down and stuff. So now it's on. You just gotta get a knack for it, for getting that in there, and I think I'm on good. I think it's a little bit crooked, so I'm going to investigate this really quick. All right, yeah, so we're good. So yeah, flat side of the spring goes in this channel. The little like catcher thing, it will go on the little like nub that's on the trigger. On this part, sorry, everything's black, and spring's black, the trigger thing's black. But anyway, if you do this correctly, if you put pressure with your thumb, you should be able to pull the trigger and it'll bounce back up. So this is on correctly, and I got to put my sear spring and stuff back on here. This shouldn't like come off or anything. It's on there pretty good. It's not gonna like if you jolt the marker a little bit, it's not gonna like fly off, but just be mindful of it. Put this sear spring thing back, get that out of the way, and I'm going to put my barrel back, put my bolt guide and stuff back on here, and then put pressure on this, push it back together, line it up with everything. So trying not to make all these stuff fly out or whatever, all stupid. So this is now back together. You have to line up the neck of the valve right here. And then that sear is going to grab in this little channel on the bolt, so that when you pull the trigger, it's going to push this forward and let the air release and stuff. So now we're pretty much almost done. Oiled up everything. The trigger is fine. It's not going to like fall off. There's no weird angles or something going on. So now we got to get this side and put it back So I'm going to put this on the table and try not to make it fall apart or whatever. And I'm going to put grease on this, just the end. Oh, crap. It fell into the grease. Let me get my tweezers really quick. Okay, so this thing fell into the grease, but that's fine. I just want that one end to be in there. I'm going to try to do this with one hand, try to show you guys what's going on. So this is the greased end, and I'm putting it into this hole down here, right there. And that's just to keep it kind of in there so it doesn't easily just like shake out. So that pin is right there in the kind of the middle of the screen. That pin right there where the barrel's touching. And that is going to have to line up with right above my fingernail. There's a hole, like a entranceway right there. You have to line that up right there. So just put this back together. The grease should hold that in there pretty good. And just make sure that the sear spring doesn't get in the way of that hole. So it's not that hard to do. And the pin should stay in there because of the grease. And I'm just going to clamp this back down. Pretty sure I got it lined up. If you don't have it lined up, you can always get a pick and pull it a little bit, pull it up. So now that pin is aligned. And this is all put back together now. Like there's no gap in this or anything. So I'm gonna get my other pin, the last pin, which is the first one, and you can place it through the back end right here and push it up. And then you're gonna get your pick. I'm gonna put my finger over it so because it can just fall out. So I'm gonna get my pick and I'm going to get this spring and just pull it back around like that. And now the tension from the spring is pulling that pin so it's not gonna like fall out. And then you can mess with your trigger and it's still acting correctly. And yeah, so this is pretty much done. I'm gonna put the detent back on just to have something to hold it together before I put the screws back in. So you just put the detent end right there, bring it over, pop it in. So detent's back. Everything on the inside is oiled. This one's not that hard to take apart. I feel like sometimes the Umarex stuff, they have so many, like probably 2 extra springs or something with the trigger mechanisms and stuff. Plus with like the TR50, it has that the drum not like a loader, but like the thing that spins the drum. I don't know what it's called, but it has 2 extra pieces and like there's little springs in that too. So back to my 1/16 Allen key. I'm going to go backwards until it catches and then start threading it, clockwise the correct way. And this will just take a second. I'm going to pause it really quick because this is kind of getting long. All right, you guys, I'm almost done with this. I have to put the magazine spring, the little latch thing, the other, it's like the safety release spring and stuff in there. So I'm just slowly doing this. I don't want to cross thread anything. Because yeah, you'll be up the creek without a paddle if you cross thread this body. Because you can't just buy the valve body. You probably have to send it into salt supply to get it fixed. And it's tight, so that one's good. All 4 of the screws are tightened down again. They're all the same length, so it doesn't matter which way you put them back. I'm gonna flip this back over. I'm just double checking that the spring is fine and the trigger is fine. It's fine. I believe this can go on either way. This is the magazine release spring. and you just put it back on that little nub. I haven't had any issues with my mag not wanting to release or like getting stuck or whatever. Like, it's been pretty fine. I'm gonna put it on the other way actually, because it was a little bit loose when I had this part hitting here or attached. So seems pretty fine. I have to put the little like safety thingy. This is for, I believe this is to not let the magazine eject when it's on fire. So that goes up in there. This goes this way, or I thought it was that way. Okay, so yeah, the pin fits on this. The little part that's sticking out. This is the pin that we got the pick and maneuvered it. So this little bit extra that's hanging out, it fits on right there. And then this pushes up on that little spring. So pretty much like that. It just kind of pivots right here. And then that little action pushes that spring up. I'm pretty sure it has something to do with it being on fire, it being on safe, and not releasing the magazine when it's on fire. Because yeah, it's just like a design they did for this one. So this is pretty much good. I'm going to put it back inside the shell, but I have to clean out the shell still. All right, you guys, it is easiest to put the marker backwards from when you disassembled it, like facing to the left. It's easier to put this back together facing to the left. I took all the screws out of the right side of the shell because the screw heads were all in, going this way, and all my screws are over here. They're all the same length, so it doesn't matter which order they're in or anything like that. But it's easier to put this in this way because you have to put your safety, and you have to put your this safety mag release thing. I don't know what it's called specifically, but it's easier to put it in this way versus putting it in the other way and then putting the screws and stuff. It's just kind of like messy. So put your little latch thing, put that on that pin, like let it pivot on that pin, and then push it down with your finger, this part with your finger, and then hold up, and then put your safety in. Since we're doing it this way, the red side, which is the fire side, that will be facing up. So I'm just holding that in there. I got my safety red facing up. Push that through there. That should keep the magazine release, this little latch thing, it should keep it in place. I'm going to pick this up and push this down a little bit. If it lets me. Okay, yeah, it's already down all the way. So that's in all the way. I'm going to get the other side of the shell, put this over the top. I'm just going to investigate this really quick before I do that, just to make sure that everything is here. I got my barrel O-ring on here still. This just keeps it from like making a clicky clacking kind of noise. So it's not necessary, but if that little like clicky noise bugs you, then put a O-ring on there on the end of the barrel. I used a size 15 like tank O-ring, very standard size O-ring for most paintball markers and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm just messing with this safety and pin thing. So I'm gonna put the other shell on, and hopefully this stays. It's been a while since I took this apart, and yeah, I think it's fine. So I'm gonna put this back on top, push it down, and yeah, pretty much good. So I'm going to flip this over and pull the screws back. The O-ring I put on the barrel kind of makes it want to like come apart at the front because it's not too thick of an O-ring, but it doesn't want to like clamp down. So I do have to kind of hold it down a little bit. I'm going to put the corners, the 4 corners of the marker, I'm going to put those screws in first just so I don't have to worry about an end coming off or something. So you're just screwing into plastic, but you should still thread backwards and then thread correctly once you hear that clicky like catch noise. So I did that top left side. I'm gonna do the top right corner where the barrel is. Get these ones started, and then I won't have to worry about the that trigger latch thing coming off, safety latch. So that one's good. I'm gonna do this. I'll do this one right here on the rail. So 2 screws are in out of 9. Going backwards, tightening it down. So that's 3 screws out of 9. And yeah, all these are the same length and they're all the same like thread pitch, same diameter, same everything. So you don't have to worry about putting the wrong one in the wrong place. Unlike some of the other launchers on the market. So I got this corner one down here. One thing I may contact Salt Supply is for a new grip tape thing, because I do like that grip tape stuff they put on the handle, but since I've taken mine apart twice now, it's kind of lost its stickiness, and it's kind of worn out a little bit because I've used this marker so much. And I'll show you the wear and tear on my grip tape thingy. I mean, I guess I could just get some skateboard grip tape and throw it on here too and just shape it. I do have the Hogue 1700 grip thing, so maybe I'll put that on this if I can't get my grip tape stuff to stick anymore. Because yeah, I bought like 3 of those Hogue grips, and I was gonna put one on my Burnet SD, but then it ended up breaking, and I still haven't got it fixed. The SD, I don't think I'm going to. It's just it was a good launcher for like a beginner one, but since I'm deep in this now and I have a good variety of launchers to use, and the Burnet SD's, you know, one of the weaker ones. I live in California, so I can't shoot pepper rounds, not legally. And yeah, it's just underpowered. I mean, yeah, you can try to hit someone in the face or the neck or something if you, depending on it, to stop someone through kinetic impact. But I mean, you only have like 5 shots, and you're probably not gonna have time to reload and shoot again. And yeah, it's just severely underpowered. So this thing is cool. Your magazine button, it won't pop out unless there's a magazine in it. So let me see if it shouldn't be able to feed this because it's on fire. So yeah, it's not feeding because it's on fire. So when I put this on safe, it should feed now. So yeah, that works fine. I'm gonna check if this button, like it came up before it was pressed down flat. So I'm gonna push this now and see if the magazine pops out. So yeah, it seems to be in working condition. I'll have to fire this like tomorrow or something, or in a couple days, to see if I have any air leaks and stuff. But so far it's good. It was pretty much due for that maintenance. You guys saw how dirty it was inside. And then plus my little bolt bumper was screwed. Like it's like torn in half, kind of ripped in half. But that's from all the impact of the bolt spring hitting back onto the valve. So that's gonna happen. Like, unless you never shoot this thing, it'll be okay. But since I use this, make videos, try to do like a fair review on it. So I use mine. It's not just like sitting in a drawer or something. So my grippy stuff is okay still. But as you can see, it's missing a little bit right here, missing a little bit right here. Missing some right here. But I do like the grip tape stuff. It's pretty cool. Sorry about that. So yeah, this thing seems to be fine so far. I'll have to try shooting it. I tested out the magazine. You guys saw it works fine. I do nothing with this, but I'll just see if it lines up correctly and stuff. I'm not getting like a weird off-angled CO2 cap area thing, but it seems like it's fine. Let me lift this up a little bit. Yeah, there's no weird spacing issues or something with the way it fits into the bottom of the marker. Seems to be fine, and like this is lined up good. It's not like off or like crooked or something. So yeah, pretty much that was maintenance. It's pretty simple. It's pretty much just like any other like Umarex valve and bolt spring and stuff. The sear springs and the trigger springs are a little bit easier on this one because there's like 2 or 3 springs less versus how the Umarex products are. And then yeah, since it's not like a revolver, it doesn't have those extra little like pieces moving around and pushing up and going back and forth and stuff. So yeah, I'll take this out a couple days or something, maybe next week. Try it out, see if it's working, see if the pressure's up. I'll have to remember I put a O-ring right here, a replacement O-ring for this bumper that's bad now. And yeah, thanks for checking it out. Sorry it took like an hour, but it's been a while since I watched Sean's video, and yeah, I just wanted to make this so I'll be able to see if like in the future for my own reference how to take it apart and stuff. But anyways, you guys have a good one, and I'll see you next time.